Hello everybody, this is Monty with Flowers by the Bunch. Today I am going to work on an artificial arrangement in this pretty glass container. So it is a pedestal type container that is just a clear glass. We're actually going to make an artificial silk arrangement in all white blooms to be used at a wedding reception. It's just a very small gathering at their home. So I've got this container. Now the thing is that it's clear, right? And we don't want to see our silk foam. So this is an old balloon that I cut to use as a liner in this container. So it's going to help me camouflage this foam. So I just laid that balloon, I just cut it. We had it here at the shop. I just cut it so it would fit into my container. I laid my foam right on top, and I am going to take some tape and tape this in place. So this is just a waterproof tape, and I'm just going to take it and tape my foam just into this dish. Next, what I'm going to do is I don't want it to be seen, so I am going to take a little bit of Spanish moss and I am going to lay it right over that foam. Again, this is just to help camouflage that foam. We just don't want it to be seen in this arrangement. Now, let me just say, Spanish moss makes a mess. So if you're going to use Spanish moss, use it in a space where it's okay if you make a mess or it's easy to clean up. So I just put that moss right on top of that foam, and it's just covered it really well so that you really can't see the foam. Next, I am going to come in with a little bit of leather leaf. I'm not gluing anything into place because I want to be able to take it apart and use it again. So I am taking my leather leaf foliage, and I am going to trim the stems of this leather. And I am going to take it and push it right down into that foam and bend it down just a little bit. And really, this is just to help me camouflage, help cover up that foam there. All right, just a little bit of leather leaf to help cover the foam, okay? Next, we are going to come in with some pretty foliage. All right, so we are gonna get started with our hydrangeas. So I'm just taking my hydrangea blooms and I am just tucking them right down into the foam. And I'm just gonna go all the way around. The wonderful part about artificial blooms is you can make them work. You can manipulate them and tell them what to do, which to me is so nice. All right, there's our pretty white hydrangeas. Next, we're gonna come in with just a few more mixed flowers. So we've got like some roses. So these are some tiny little mixed bushes, and what I'm going to do with those is I am just going to flare them out just like that, and I am going to just tuck them right down into that foam. I do like that they're kind of mixed and have a few little berries, and I'm just going to take several of these little bushes just flare it just like that. Tuck that in to fill in that space. Just like that. I'm going to take one more of those. One on the floor. And the reason I'm not cutting these all off is because they are fairly short. The stems are pretty short. And so if I leave it on its longer stem, then I don't have a whole bunch of little shorty pieces. But you can see how it just kind of fills in that space. All right, so there are just a pretty mounded arrangement with silk blooms. Next, I am going to take these roses and I am going to cut them off of this bush. And I'm just going to tuck them in, leaving their stems a little longer, kind of coming out some. Okay, pretty all the way around. Next, I have some longer stemmed daisies. So we're going to take these pretty daisies. And again, these are all, we usually rent these blooms, and so it's always nice to leave your stems as long as you can so that it gives some length on an arrangement. So again, I'm just going to take those stems and kind of tuck those in with some length. I am going to fold this one, bend that stem, and kind of fluff my flowers. I always try to leave as much length on the stems as I possibly can, because I like to be able to, if in case I need them real long, I just pull the head off. All right, so there are our pretty white blooms. Next, we're going to come in with a little bit of greenery and filler flower. So I have some eucalyptus. This is just a small bush of silver dollar eucalyptus. So I am going to take that, and I am just going to cut each of these stems off. I am going to fluff them just a little bit and then kind of tuck that greenery right in. It's always very important that when you work with artificial blooms that you fluff them. You want to breathe some life into them, and I know that kind of sounds a little funny, but a lot of times when you order silk flowers, they tend to come in a little squished, right? And so you want to try to fluff them out just a little bit so they're not so artificial, if that makes sense. So breathe a little bit of life right over into those blooms by giving them a good fluff. Now you can take, a lot of times if you order and you get them in a box, kind of crushed down in a box, you can take a really warm blow dryer and blow dry those blooms, and that'll help them to open up and fluff up a little bit. You can also take a steamer like that you steam tablecloths with, and you can fluff them that way. All right, so there is our eucalyptus. Next, I'm going to add, I really like this. This is called, always I'll have to look. I want to say that it's clematis leaf spray. So this is the foliage. So clematis, if you've ever seen fresh clematis, it is a vining flower, and it has like a star-shaped flower that blooms on this vine. And so this actually came from a company called David Christopher's, and it's so pretty. I really love this clematis vine. And so I'm just going to take that and tuck that right down in there, and you can see it gives me a little bit of whimsy in this arrangement, and just some movement. But be sure to check them out. They have lots of pretty things. Not only do they have prettier foliage and prettier flowers, like for home interiors, they also have cemetery grade silks too, which are really nice and very reasonable. So be sure to check them out. I love the movement of that foliage. I wish I had another couple stems. All right, so let's see if there's anything else. Let me stand back and look at it. I do think I want to add just about 3 stems or so of this daisy filler greenery stem. And so I am going to take it and I'm going to fluff it. Add a little bit of life to it because it was a little flat, so I just kind of fluffed it, and I'm going to tuck it in. What this is going to do is give us just a little more movement in this arrangement with a little more height. It adds a touch of yellow, which, you know, to me, yellow's always pretty. All right, and there is our pretty arrangement. This will go over on a buffet table. To finish it off, I may add a little bit of fresh eucalyptus to just give a little bit of a drip the day of. But other than that, this will be the arrangement that we will place on the buffet. Guys, thank you so much for being here with me. If you have any questions about how we do things, you can always ask. We would love to answer any questions you might have. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up. We would so appreciate it. It just helps people see us. Be sure, if you have not already subscribed to our channel, hit that subscribe button right down below, and if you'll hit that bell, you'll get notifications for when we have a brand new video. Thanks, guys. See you soon.